And you are welcome for a Tuesday. It is time for the dailies. Every single day we bring you the headlines, everything that you'd meet if you decide to pick up a daily paper. And of course with me I have Titi. Thank you very much, Titi Onyisa.
Yeah, thank
Go
you.
with the name change thing.
Oh, wow. Really?
I have to highlight that. Thanks for joining.
Onyisa.
Onyisa.
Yes.
Onyisa.
Yes.
Says the Delta man. Alrighty, so thank you for joining. Let's do the papers together, shall we? Wanted to highlight that the range of papers we have today all have big birthday celebrations on them.
They do.
But we will take as much as we can for the details of all the stories that they may carry. I'm going to start from the Guardian newspaper this morning and starting with the front and center headline for the Guardian. EFCC, 585 million naira humanitarian scandal. EFCC quizzes embattled Edu, others as anti-graft uproar heightens. There were videos of her visiting the president yesterday, but it was thought or it was suggested that she was unable to meet him or that he didn't give her any audience. However, investigations have begun, and I hope that we will be carried along so we know exactly the details of what these private accounts, in quote, that we've been hearing about these monies being disbursed to, whether they've already been disbursed or not. But she has stood her ground saying that there has been no instance of malpractice or fraud in her ministry. But we wait to see, especially after the investigations.
It is something to note that there's almost an immediate action being taken against the allegation, right? Which is something that could have been swept under the carpet in past cases similar to this. But it is a very large amount of money we're talking about.
You do realize the theme, the urban theme for with the local parlance for 2024.
No grief for anybody.
No grief for anybody. So I guess that's what the president is going with.
At this point.
There are more headlines here. Obi deplores huge borrowing, profligate spending on luxury, that on page 3. And reps blame Agric ministry for delay in sharing Tinubu's palliatives. Under the photo story here, NERC cancels Disco's license to over 110 billion naira debt, appoints sole administrator, and more headlines at the bottom of the Guardian. Security guards bags life imprisonment over sexual assault. Subscribers offer service disruption. Subscribers suffer service disruption over 70 billion naira interconnect debts, and UBA exceeds 1 trillion naira market capitalization mark.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
1 trillion.
Wanted to go back to the subscribers suffering this disruption, and it's very interesting that it should be highlighted in yellow. You get it, yes?
Yeah.
Because it involves a yellow brand here, and it was something about the brands not being able to call if you use a certain network inability, you might be unable to call the other network.
Yeah.
I hope that this doesn't cause, because I mean it's communication.
Yeah.
Businesses will be affected.
Of course.
Everything. I mean. You know.
Okay, we're going to switch from this paper now and move on to the next one. And we have the Punch.
All right.
And the major headline there is Tinubu orders 2 trillion naira poverty relief funds probe. Edu faces EFCC today. Security aides stop Edu from meeting president. And Buhari minister grilled for 12 hours. And that's the major headline there. We have already touched on it from the past paper, and of course there is happy birthday. What do they call them again when you have birthday posters on papers? There's a term for them. I'll try and it'll come to me now.
Remember, yes.
It'll come to me now. But let's head over to The Nation now. Top left, it says 37, or is that 371?
371.
Yes. EFCC quizzes ex-minister Sadia. APC picks Edo candidate February 17th. NERC takes over Disco over poor performance. And from O's, is it NBET? And MO, 110 billion naira. Aliyah triumphs at Supreme Court. And Ayedatiwa rejects forgery claim. Super Eagles land in Lagos, as anticipated. And UBA crosses the 1 trillion naira market cap. that actually is incredibly significant. I'll be looking into that particular. So I'm all about the.
Yes, I know you are.
Yes,
exactly.
I need to go and see if my.
It wouldn't be titty if she
there's
didn't.
been some uptick in my shares.
Finally, and very short, the Daily Trust newspaper is our last paper for today. Bandits return to Kaduna-Abuja Highway, abduct 30, block road for 45 minutes. Now, this was very worrying when it hit the news sources yesterday, because it's something that seems to have leveled down a bit, especially since the last quarter of last year, when the security forces expressed that there was going to be zero tolerance to banditry and kidnappers, and it seems to have gone away for that bit. But back again here, very concerned here as a traveler myself, because one of my major tours for this year was going to be to the north through Kaduna and through this highway.
Okay.
I'm sure that the authorities.
Blocked the road for 45
minutes is a long time.
It's a very long time, because Abuja Kaduna, it's one of those most plowed routes.
Yes, indeed.
And I think there's a train route as well.
There's
a train route, I think, as well.
There's a train route, and that had in the past also been subject to plenty of disruptions because of the activities of kidnappers and bandits as well.
Sure.
So it's like you're trapping an entire people. There's fear, plenty of fear. Once again, the same birthday shout-outs going to Malik Kyari. Malik Kyari, also on this paper. And that's all the headlines that we have on the Daily Trust, and indeed all the headlines that we have for today. We're hoping that maybe if you have any comments for any of the headlines you might want to share with us, use X. Make sure you use the hashtag as well, Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Would like to talk about it. Alrighty, let's do a very short break now before we move into the kitchen, where we have a very special guest and a chef for a very special time here on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be back.